I'm embedded in your motherfucking brain, bitch. Hi lovelings, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for being here. Today we're gonna talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 2. So you guys better get ready to get down in those comments and let me know what you guys think about everything that has been going on. I haven't reviewed part 1 of the reunion, but we're gonna talk a little about part 2 today. So you guys ensure that you like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get into it. Okay, so we resume talking about Porsha and these receipts that she said she had on Kenya, talking bad about Cynthia, talking about she was going to get her and what's not. So Andy did not actually read out the text messages that Porsha screenshotted and sent to him, but he basically gave us a feel of what it was. And Andy explained that it was basically Kenya saying that she wished Cynthia would have taken up more for her against what Eva was saying, because that was the time when Eva and her were at odds. They were having problems, and Kenya just said that she hoped that she wished that Eva had taken up for. What is wrong with me? She wished that Cynthia would have taken up for her the way that Porsha did. So there we have it. Porsha is just Pinocchio's little sister. I am convinced this girl lies all the time. Like, how does that even amount to Kenya saying that she's going to get Cynthia? Then Porsha remix that shit and bring it back to us and is now telling us that, oh no, I had a conversation, but you said that you had text messages, receipts of her saying that. How is what Porsha is having receipts on Kenya saying that she's going to get her? Girl, your receipts ain't nothing, girl. It makes absolutely no sense. It was just false. It's just Porsha doing what Porsha does. Porsha lies. That's what Porsha does, okay? So we're gonna be moving on. And so they had a little scene where they were talking about, you know, all the babies on the show, and they were just showing, and you know, they asked the girls a lot about their babies and how they're enjoying them. It was a cute little scene, nothing much there. And we're gonna move on to talking about Porsha and Kenya. You know, they basically get into talking about well, a question actually came in of Porsha, you know, constantly shading Kenya despite the fact that they were supposed to be working on the relationship and being in a better place and so forth, but there was just so much shade coming from Porsha. And Porsha said that her she was basically reacting to the fact that she was not seeing a changed Kenya, and that she thought Kenya would have changed her ways, and she just kept seeing the old Kenya coming back, and she just couldn't sit back and condone that behavior. You know, she just could not tolerate it. And I'm just like, Porsha, really, girl? Really? We're seeing the old you. That's what we're seeing. Because if you are supposed to be changing and developing a relationship with someone, you need to be a little more respectful to that budding friendship and be a little more tolerant. And what you and that person have, it's not your business to defend others. It's your business to defend yourself. And all that you were showing is that you're the same Porsha. You're the same lying ass, don't forgive nobody, never really apologize type of Porsha. That's what you are, girl. You just lie all the time. And I don't know why is it you think that you can just spin the narrative and no one will see through to your nonsense. Porsha, you shaded Kenya all season. She went into saying that Porsha attacked her family when she talked about the doggy style comment. Now that was early as hell in the season, Porsha. Let's be real about it. That was early in the season. You did not see Kenya saying that. All that you did, you were doing it because that is what's within you. That is what you wanted to do. That was not you responding to how Kenya was talking about you. And that was one comment. What about you calling it fun shade? You were not fun shading. You went in on Kenya and shaded the hell out of her the entire season. You were just team anybody else except Kenya. You didn't want a friendship. You didn't want a friendship with Kenya. So stop faking it, girl. I can't stand Porsha and this fake ass behavior. Like, I can't tell you guys how much I can't stand this fake ass behavior from Porsha. Porsha never wanted any kind of friendship with Kenya. She really never did. It was, I don't know, convenience or whatever. But Porsha, girl, but whatever. So Shamea and Kenya's baby delivery situation came up after that, and Kenya let us know that she was not lying about that situation, and she wasn't, because Porsha tried to make it what it wasn't. Let's be honest, Porsha really tried to make that situation what it was not. Kenya never said that she was there or called when Shamea actually was ready to deliver her baby. Kenya said that she was that Shamea texted her when she thought that she was going into labor. And Porsha, I really can't deal with Porsha and this nonsense. Porsha is just a liar, and she's possessive, and she really don't want to see anyone get along with Kenya. She really doesn't want to see it, and we just have to accept it for what it is. And Kenya released her receipts that there was a talk about delivery, and it just wasn't the day that she actually gave birth, but it was when she thought she was going into labor. Okay, so bye Porsha and your girl, bye, whatever. So they get into talking about Kenya and Tanya. Now let me tell you, Tanya has just been getting on my nerves. Tanya has been getting on my nerves, child. Like, I can't with Tanya. She just has a weird energy when she's trying too hard. Like, she's a fun, quirky girl on a regular, but she just keeps doing the most for this show, trying to get attention. I'm like, girl, but you know, they get to talking about Tanya and this situation, and Kenya was just like, entirely get into the Kenya versus Tanya situation, but Kenya, my favorite line for, like, one of my favorite lines for the night was when Kenya said, if you bring a gun to shoot me, I'm gonna come back with a machine gun. And that's just what it is. Like, when is it you decide that you're going to shade a person, you can't expect that person to come back and just pat you because you pat them. Like, if you pat me, I'm gonna hit you. That's it. That's it. And we're just gonna keep taking it up. You're gonna do the next thing, I'm gonna do it until you can't take it anymore. I'm not trying to match energy. I don't know, Kenya was saying that she doesn't do whatever, she just tries to match energy. No, you don't, Kenya. You don't try to match no energy. You try to hit them harder, and rightfully so, because when a bitch tries to get you, you get them 10 times worse. That's it. Simple as that. So they get to talking about Kenya marching into Marlo's event with that marching band. Yo, that was an iconic moment in Real Housewife history. I will never forget it. It was funny as shit. Now, Cynthia was trying to say that it was fun shade. It was not fun shade. It was definitely not fun shade, but it was funny, as what Candy said. It was definitely funny. Child, I will never forget that moment. I was falling onto the chair. That was so iconic. I would never forget it. Ever will I ever forget that moment in history. Okay, Marlo was upset, and rightfully so, because it wasn't a kind thing to do. But like Kenya said, and like I had already observed, Marlo basically let herself up for it. You know, she was talking a lot of terrible things about Kenya and her hair care line. Just the scene before that, the episode before that, about her hair care line not being real, and her marriage is this, and her family is this, and all this trash. So Karen's like, okay girl, my hair care line ain't working, it ain't good, okay, I'm gonna show you. And I was here for it. Okay, I was here for it. I don't care who mad, who feel how, I really don't care. Kenya did what she needs to do. They Kenya also made a good point, because I don't know about Miss Andy now. What's with this dude? He really be coming for Kenya, like very strong and aggressive. He's like, okay, Kenya, so you can F with other people's business, but no one can F with your business. And there goes Tanya. Oh my girl, sit down. What's your problem? Like, she just makes herself look like such a fool constantly. Calm down, you're doing too much. Gosh. And I really didn't like how Andy was coming at Kenya. I'm just saying it. It just didn't seem right. It seemed too personal. The fact that he taught to curse and all of that in the midst of that, it just seemed really personal. Like, Andy, everyone knows you hate Kenya, but can you just try to conceal it just a little bit? Gosh, you're just giving away your positions. Bye. Anyhow, back to Kenya and Marlo. So Kenya says that her issues with Marlo is, you know, she just can never forgive her for what she said about her murder. And Marlo's like, that was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. So Kenya said that Marlo actually said that at her event, talking about that's why your mother didn't want you and whatever. It turns out she really didn't say that. She said that's why your husband doesn't respect you and you can't have unconditional love. And that just goes back to show that Marlo, you act like you're innocent, but you're really not innocent. You do shit to keep this shit going, because if it is you want, you really believe in yourself that you did something wrong, you would not continue to try to throw gasoline and come at this person. You would apologize and give them space to accept what you're saying. Now, if you're going to apologize to Kenya and then every minute you're jabbing her and you're jabbing her and you're jabbing her concerning personal issues, she shared at the Bailey Q that you know, she just feels that she never has felt unconditional love, and she really wants that. And look, the next time we see you, you're throwing that same thing in Kenya's face, like, girl, what are we to do with you? Like, it's whatever with you. It's whatever. If Kenya does not want to accept your apology, that's it. That's it. Why do you feel like she has to? I don't understand. Why is it you feel that Kenya has to accept your apology if she really doesn't want to? Because I wouldn't. I would not. Period. You're not sorry. You're not going to be respectful of me. Simple as that. So they start talking about yeah, was it fun shade? And you know, the ladies were like, it's not. Cynthia felt like it was fun shade. Andy, you know, took a poll, raised of hands, who thought it was fun shade, and Cynthia was the only one who raised her hand. And I was like, at least they told the truth. I mean, some of them were straight out being haters, but it was not fun shade. It was not fun shade. It can never be mistaken for fun shade, but it was definitely funny. It was hilarious. But here comes Tanya. Kenya actually said that everyone was laughing. Here comes Tanya. It was not funny. No one was laughing. Marlo was really upset with you. Girl, did you think she did it so Marlo can be happy with her? Girl, bye Tanya, you just be doing the most, and Tanya be butting in at the weirdest times and just coming across so strange. Like, girl, calm down. Give her some water or something. Jeez, what is with her? So Marlo and Kenya get into arguing with each other, back and forth, quarreling and whatever. And she starts talking about Kenya's marriage and her husband and whatever, and Kenya is rebutting to her. And Kenya was like, girl, when have you ever had a man on this show besides the one that you and Nene were? I'm like, what? That was it. That was it for Marlo. She couldn't come back from that. She couldn't come back from that. It's a fact. When has she ever? And I know she's gonna talk about, oh, Kenya had fake relationships and fake whatever. But this really gets Nene fired up. Nene, I wasn't anyone. What do you know about who I was fucking? I was never this. I was never that. It's like, Nene, whatever you say, child. I mean, people did say that was a fake relationship. So are you guilty of having fake relationships too? I'm just trying to find out. What do people say? I'm just trying to find out. So Nene and Kenya just start going at it endlessly, and Kenya gets to calling Nene an ugly bitch and saying that she was the ugliest bitch in the show. And child, it was steamy. It was really hot. Now listen, I know a lot of people are mad at Kenya for saying that, but I feel like with Kenya and Nene, the level that they are on, it's no holds barred. Like, all boundaries and all lines of respect have been crossed. Nene has spoken about her child. Kenya has spoken about her child in return. They have spoken about each other's marriages, finances, issues, personal issues, everything. Nene just spoke about and continues to speak about Kenya having box jobs, and her butt is fake, her breast is fake, her body's fake, silicone Barbie, this, that, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the 46th. It's just a no holds bar. It's a nasty fight at this point. And so what if she calls Nene ugly now? What? All boundaries have been crossed. Like, that's a non-factor. They can go at it. They can tell each other whatever they want. There are no lines of respect anymore. They've crossed them all, and there's no turning back from that. So they continue to argue, and the next thing we know, Kenya is letting loose. Kenya is like, so you're saying I deserve what I'm getting with my husband? Well, did you deserve your husband Greg cheating on you with the hell? I'm like, I mean, I had heard it before. I think we all have heard it before, because Nene tried to get ahead of the story because she knew it was going to get out there. So she's trying to get ahead of the story. And also there's this rumor floating around that she actually has a guy somewhere in LA, I believe it is. Yes, there's this rumor out there, so I guess she's trying to show up Greg to make herself look better, or whatever the case is. But yes, girl, that's what's happening. Okay, so Kenya, it wasn't tea, but it was a good shot back. Okay. Again, Tanya is just chiming in throughout this, just hurting my soul. I'm like, Tanya, just stop, girl, just stop. You're trying to get a moment. Kenya is not giving it to you. Just quit. Just call it quits. Gee. Anyhow, they move on to talking about this cookie lady drama, and they show all the scenes and the clips of Kenya talking about this cookie lady, you know, and Tanya is just getting on my nerves. So, you know, they pretty much asked Tanya about the cookie lady drama that unfolded earlier in the season, and Kenya was pretty much saying that she felt like Tanya came for her, and so she shot back with a cookie lady. That was it. And Tanya was not feeling her. Tanya was like, you know, that was whack. And they were just going at it, arguing and acting a total fool. And Portia was just cueing Tanya in on what to say and all that. And Tanya was trying all these big jazz, but shut your lips and whatever. And the whole time, you know what's funny? Because the entire time that I am looking at this reunion, I'm just looking at Tanya like, girl, what is wrong with your face? What is on your lips? Can anyone tell me, like, Tanya was looking like real crazy, okay? Oof. Girl, whatever, but she, you know, she's going in and she's trying these weak reads, these weak remarks. I don't know what Miss Tanya thought she was doing, but whatever she was doing, it was lame. Whole time Miss Portia is just cueing Tanya and telling her like, and how did this make you feel, and what do you think about this and that? And Tanya goes on to say, you know, you're talking about my cookie lady. I'm like, my cookie lady? Anyhow. My cookie lady. But you know, anyhow, she's like, you're talking about my cookie lady. Your husband is out and acting as though your husband is not out there in New York with a whole restaurant and a dessert bar, and you're acting like we're not even talking about that. Girl, you failed to even make your point. You failed to even make your point. Is she failing to, is she acting like you guys are not talking about him having a restaurant? Because that's what you said. You need to be more thorough with what is it you're saying, more precise and clear about what is it you're trying to say, because it's just falling true for you, Tanya. Like, Tanya is really not about this life. I don't know why she continues to act as though she is. She's not. Girl, stop. You're making yourself look so bad. There you go, Portia chiming in. Like, Portia is another one who is just trying to steal this reunion or something. Like, she's just trying to keep the attention on her, speaking when she's really not needed. But I see what they were trying to do. They are really trying to get Miss Tanya some light and some attention. And Kenya was just not giving that girl the energy. And I was not here for it, really and truly. Like, I feel like Tanya was being so annoying. Oh my gosh. I felt like Kenya needed to read Miss Tanya down. Like, read her down. Don't let this bitch come at you funny. Read her down so that she will know her place and know that you are not the one. But I see what Kenya's doing. Kenya doesn't want to give Tanya any energy to give her a storyline for next season. That's why Kenya is ignoring her, because Tanya is just holding on to this nonsense so long. I mean, they spoke to Kenya about calling Tanya, I'll see you next Tuesday. And Kenya said that, you know, she really felt bad about that. She was not proud about that moment and that she was sorry. And here comes Tanya. Well, Andy, she pretty much tried to defend everything else. She was so defensive about everything else that she has done this season that you have asked her about. And I feel like she only had to own that. The only thing she could have done was own that. I'm like, girl, didn't you get your apology? Are you not happy that she owned it? Did you wish that she did not own it? What do you want, really? What do you want? It doesn't make any sense. This woman is just acting ooh, girl, calm down. Jeez. Tanya is so annoying. Like, I can't stop saying how annoying she was on this reunion. Like, whoever put you up to this, girl, let it go. And I have a strong feeling that her and Miss Portia colluded and they are trying to get her some attention for next season. But girl, we don't want to see you anymore. We don't want to see you anymore. Back to Miss Portia now. So Portia proposed her question and she asked Tanya, basically cueing her on if she felt like Kenya acted alone with the Cook Lady situation, and if she felt like Cynthia had a role to play. Now, Tanya said that, you know, she feels like whoever does the crime, even though someone else may be driving the getaway car, whoever does the crime is guilty. Whatever, girl. Whatever. So, you know, there go Portia trying to get Cynthia, trying to get Cynthia mixed up in this mess, and rightfully so, because Cynthia basically tried to throw Kenya under the bus and acted like she was so against this situation. She was not a part of it. She hated it and whatever. Cynthia, you're messy, and we know it, girl. We know it. We know it. But she just tried to throw Kenya under this bus and act like what Kenya did was so ridiculous, and she was so not here for it. And I hated that they let Cynthia wiggle out to that question. She was like, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't whatever. So it's like, but you brought Little Miss Thing to Brooklyn's party. You invited her. You said on the after show that you invited her to come to Brooklyn's party. And it's clear that she invited the woman there because she wanted some shit to pop off. Now, Cynthia likes to throw rocks and hide her hands and dust the little crumbs off her hands. But girl, do what you need to do. But I really didn't appreciate them, you know, letting her get away with it, because she really was trying to throw Kenya under the bus like Kenya acted alone. Kenya didn't act alone. Kenya did not act alone. You were right there with her and you led her to the water. Kenya was just doing the most, and I love that Kenya was giving her zero energy. Kenya was like, yes, girl, that's good. That read right there, that's it, girl. Spot on. oof, she's so corny. And it's like, no, she's not corny, she's Canadian. I'm like, what do you mean? Is that like a shade to Canadian people? Like, okay. Kenya ends up saying that, you know, even though she did agree with everything that Cynthia did, she appreciated that she pulled her to the side or whatever. So Eva chimes in and is like, and when that lady came, I took you away, I took you outside and whatever. And she's like, Eva, don't even speak, because you ate those cookies like 10 different times. Eva said, well, those cookies were good as hell. I giggled at that. It was definitely good for a little giggle, okay? Eva was right. Like, if you try to help a bitch and that bitch wants to be mad at you now, just clown the bitch. Simple. Like, what do you want me to do? Like she thought that everyone should have just turned against Kenya and tried to choke her. And she was never mad with Eva before now. She was never mad at Eva. Her and Eva were fine. But there she go, colluding with Marlo and Portia and the others, and taking sides. And that's where her energy for Eva is coming from. She's just, Tanya's doing the most to get a peach. Like, ooh, girl, just leave the show altogether, because you're not interested. We don't want to see you. You're annoying. You're annoying. You're very annoying, girl. Bye. You know, anyhow, they move on. They get to talking about, you know, Eva changing her daughter's name. I really loved, you know, they tried to touch on Candy and, you know, ask her why she was being so harsh about Portia, saying of course she wouldn't have response, well, an opinion about what Kenya did to Tanya with the cookie lady. You know, why was she so harsh with her response, saying that she really don't give a F. And I don't blame Candy. And I love that Candy highlighted the fact, because Miss Cynthia likes to pretend. So I'm happy that Candy put out the fact that she doesn't feel the need to defend Tanya. She doesn't know how that well. Sometimes you have to deal with situation on your own. And she brought out the fact that Miss Cynthia, who never does anything bad, actually brought a woman to her face to tell her about her fiance not so long ago. Well, it was long ago, but whatever. You know, I'm glad that she brought that to the forefront and put it out there so we all can be reminded that Miss Cynthia is no pie, like she suddenly wants to be seen as, and throwing her friend Kenya under the bus like she had nothing to do with it and she was so against it, and what Kenya did was just the worst thing ever. Bye, girl. They get to talking about Eva, you know, changing her daughter's name, and then, you know, her custody battle with her donor, as she likes to call him. You know, it just turns into a really emotional scene because, you know, they asked her about, you know, how did she get with him, and Eva just said that it was just a new relationship. It wasn't serious. And, you know, they were doing the do, and she ended up having a baby. And then, you know, she definitely saw the telltale signs that he was aggressive. But, you know, like most women do, she didn't think that that could be her, or that can be her life. And it just turned out to be. And, you know, she pretty much kept it a secret, like what a lot of women do. And it just got bad. He just really beat it on her until she couldn't take it anymore. And Eva broke down and she was crying. And this is something that happens with a lot of women. And so I totally, you know, understand what she's saying. It's a story that we hear so many times, you know, like everyone just thinks that it's not going to be them, that's not going to be their life, and then it just happens, you know. And Eva really broke down. And so, you know, Kenya, she asked to be excused, and Kenya called her, left the scene to call her, you know, check on her like friends do. And they move on to Portia and her situation with Dennis, all the rumors and stuff. And I'm mad that the women missed this, because Portia just have so much to say all the time. But whatever. And I know y'all are going to feel like I'm coming for Portia, but I'm just calling a spade. When Portia is right, I will give Portia her right. When Portia is wrong, I will drag Portia all night long. Okay, that's just the way it is. And you know, I wish the ladies were here to properly engage her on this topic, because she has so much to say all the time and she won't shut up. She won't shut up at all. So I wish it were there. Anyhow, you know, Portia was able to do her nickety knack and, you know, cover up her stories and pat us on the head, give us nothing. But she did say that, you know, admitted that the reason that Mr. Hot Dog Man does not want a big wedding is because he basically don't want people who know what he did to come around and pay for them to eat, because he's ashamed. Simple as that. He's ashamed of what he has done, and definitely what he did was so not right at all. That's it. So Kandi and Nene get on it when Andy brings up the situation that happened on social media, where Nene went to her YouTube channel talking mad smack about some person that continues to get a spin-off after spin-off. And Kandi made it clear for us, why is it she knew, how is it she knew that Nene was talking about her? And Kandi revealed that when Nene said what she said on her YouTube channel was like days after, or the day after they started filming for her spin-off. So Kandi had, excuse me, Kandi has a spin-off in the works, and that's what Nene's mad about. So Nene and Kandi just start going at it, and Nene's like, girl, you're not relevant, girl. You're not relevant. You're not important, B. You're not important. Ain't nobody want you. This made up beef. This made up beef. And all that mess. And she's just going in and around and about. And next thing she gets into saying that, girl, you're unforgettable. You're unforgettable. And here we go with Nene being silly again. Like, Kenya had to told her about peoples, and now like she gotta let her know the difference between forgettable and unforgettable. So Candy's like, you're right, I am unforgettable. I am unforgettable. And you know, they were just going at it and snapping at each other's necks till Andy had to mute them. That is when Kandi explained the situation, and they just kept on going even though they were muted. And I guess afterwards they realized that they were muted and they took time out. That's when Kandi explained the situation. Anyhow, they move on to showing what was it? They move on to showing scenes that happen with Kenya and their situation while they were out of the country, on the out of the country trip. Greece, yeah, they started showing that, and I guess Nene saw that they were gonna have to talk about the situation where she was spitting and throwing popcorn at Kenya, and she did not want to answer to that shit. And Nene just started making like crazy remarks. What would they do if I wasn't here and whatever. The next thing we know, Miss Nene Leakes is closing her computer and she's leaving. I'm like, whatever, girl, the trash took itself out. She really did not want to have to answer to that situation and how she behaved, her ridiculous behavior. So she just starts pulling things out of her ass and making excuses to leave the scene. And everybody's like, bye, girl. The trash took itself out. Whatever, baby. Anyhow, that was it for the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 12 Reunion Part 2. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching my video. Ensure you like and subscribe to my channel and see what next I have coming up. Get down in those comment sections and let me know what you thought about the reunion. It was a whole lot. I'm excited for part 3 when Yvonne comes on to clear up this Snake Gate situation. I can't wait. So you guys can get down in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it. But that's it. Bye, guys.